Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, August 18th. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour, and in particular the last few minutes, that is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. I say this because during the daytime, the algorithms and the day traders, they are the ones moving the price around. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best information, great technology, and they start to make their decisions at the end of the day, like I said before, based using a lot of money, and I consider them smart money, so I like to piggyback on what they are doing at the end of the day. So thank you all of you for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. I always look forward to this time of the day. We have our little group, and we have so many great contributions from the members in here. I really appreciate it. So thank you for coming, and I hope by visiting this channel, investing your time here, it is helping with your trading and your investing. Looks like Quad is here. Hey Quad, good to see you, my friend. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Good afternoon, Quad. David is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you as well. Dan is here. Hi, Dan. Good to see you. Miko25. Hello. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you and the family are doing well. Gary Fitzpatrick. Hello, or happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday, Gary. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Evan is here. Hi, Evan. Good to see you. Johan is back. Nice to see you, Johan. Thank you for coming. If there's anything I can help you with, you just let me know, okay? So, all right. Well, it's been a wild one. It's been a wild one today. The Dow is currently down 37 points, down 0.13%. The NASDAQ is the strong one on the day, up 81 points, up 0.73%. And the NASDAQ is up 9 points, up 0.29%. So, hey, Scott Trades is here. Good to see you, Scott. Appreciate you being here, my friend. And if you haven't checked out Scott on Twitter, it's at Scott Trades over on Twitter. He has a great channel, has great educational videos, and so thank you, Scott, for coming by. Nice to see you, my friend. William Green is also here. Good day to you, Greg. Hello, team. Hello, William. Good to see you. Always nice to have William here. All right, so we've got a lot to do today. So this is the plan. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. I have had some day trades today. I'm going to share those with you. After that, we're going to switch over and take a look at the groups trades that we have up on the board. I see some of those are doing well today, so that's great. After that, we are going to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology, get outside of charts and indicators, talk a little bit about the bigger picture of trading philosophy, good trading words of wisdom. After that, I have gone down through my watch list today. I've also gone through Kamal's scanner, the potential end of day candidates from Kamal's scanner, which I always want to thank Kamal for providing me. I do have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First requirement, I want to make sure I have a confluence or combination of indicators lining up. The more the better. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and you will increase your chances dramatically of having a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. Makes sense, right? If you're the only buyer and everyone else is selling, it's going to be a little hard to make money on the long side. So I look for a confluence or combination of indicators like RSI, MACD, ATR channels, V1, V2 entries, and ideally on 2 time frames. Second requirement, I have to have a good risk to reward, at least 2 to 1, minimum 2 to 1. I can have a really great setup with all sorts of confluences of indicators, but it doesn't mean I just can automatically take the trade. I have to analyze the chart, look at major resistance above me, whether those Keltner channels, ATR channels, moving averages, RSI levels. I have to make sure that I can have at least an educated guess that I can have a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. And number 3, always please keep in mind, especially in this kind of market where things are going up, please always keep in mind how many positions you have and how correlated they are. Ideally, it would in an ideal situation, having as many completely uncorrelated positions would be the best. I mean, the market as a whole all stocks, about 3/4 of stocks go up and down together. But, if you're in one industry, then those are almost always going to go up and down together. And it's nice to be able to get outside of equities with gold or silver or bonds, the dollar, something like that as well, to get even more diversification. So I'm going to go down through the watch list. The candidates that I have, I'll put to the side ones that look fairly decent, and then at the end of the day before the close, I'll go through those with a fine-tooth comb and look for just the very, very best one that has the best indicators, ideally on multiple time frames, best risk to reward ratio. And then I also have to keep in mind, what kind of positions do I have? Am I heavy in any one position? So if I do find one at the end of the day that meets all those criteria, I will go ahead and buy it. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at, please let me know. I'm happy to give you my opinion. If there are any symbols that you would like me to look at before the market closes, if it would be helpful to get my take on it, put them in the chat. Make sure you put an asterisk or an emoji by it so that I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my very best to get to it. And then if you have any new entries or exits today, if you could please wait till the end of the day after the market's closed, after the pressure's off, after I'm done with trading, right? If you could wait till then to let me know what they are, I would greatly appreciate that. That way I can do it correctly, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you so much for sending me the results of the scan. Karen says, any thoughts on Roku? Oh, you and Kamal must be on the same wavelength today, because Kamal asked me about Roku earlier. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, we did break down from this range here, reverse back up. We do have a V2. We are over 50 RSI. I would have liked it better if we could have tested this low here. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, we are above the 1 ATR channel, not to the 2 ATR channel. So the weekly's decent. It's decent, not really too overbought. I'd like it better if it was in the value zone. MACD is positive. It's okay. I mean, if I were to take this trade, I would get out with the close below halfway of this washout bar, or maybe in other words, if it lost the negative 1 ATR channel. It's okay. I don't know why it doesn't jump out at me just looking at the whole chart in context as like wonderful, but from a logical level, yes, it is, it came down, it made a range, it went sideways, had a spike down and reversal back up. I would make sure that if you are interested in buying Roku, that it would close above the 50 RSI at the very least, though. Steve, hey bud, good to see you. Always a pleasure to have you. Always an honor to have you here, Steve. Hope you're doing well with the dogs and the family. Steve says, hello everyone. Interesting XLF rejection at the 200 SMA resistance last week is holding this week. Yes, I have XLF based upon the weekly, and it certainly did. It has certainly rejected it, hasn't it? Down a little bit today, back in the value zone, but look at that, just pegged that 200-day exactly. Thanks for coming, Steve. Appreciate it, my friend. Kamal says Goldman Sachs has the 520 cross under today. Okay, so it has the cross under. Good. Well, we can look for the crossover then, right? You're right, Kamal. So that 520 crossover, that is a good back-tested approach to trading Goldman, but that might take a few days before it happens. Steve says, "Hey Frank, good to see you, bud. Sorry I missed your name there. Thanks for coming." Steve says, "I need the 520 EMA crossover on Roku to trigger." Oh, that's right. Roku does backtest well with the 520. Mount Doji, what's happening, my friend? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Appreciate you coming back. Dan Fitzpatrick is here. Wow. I mean, we got all the heavy hitters. We have Dan Fitzpatrick, Steve Burns, Scott. Thank you, Dan, for coming. Boy, what an honor to have you here. Good breakout on Amazon today. Yes, it sure is. It is a big, big day on Amazon. Let's take a look. Look at that. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Dan, for coming. I appreciate it. Mount Doji says, GME caught my eye today. GME. Well, has a V1 break above the 200-day moving average. A little high for my blood, getting up there near the second ATR channel, but I would much rather take a close back over the 200-day moving average and using that 200 as my stop than grabbing a moving average crossover here, because here you have a very defined, I'm right or I'm wrong situation. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly on GameStop's okay. Doesn't look like it's got over that 50-day moving average. That would be nice. MACD is positive, so it's okay. But I mean, if it were me, Mount Doji, I would definitely use that 200-day as my initial stop. Dan says, "LOL, you're the heavy hitter." Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Dan, Steve says, "Great to see you here, Dan and Scott." Yes, absolutely. Wow. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Bob, hey, Bob, good to see you. Good to see you. Bob's hot. Bob's been hot lately. Steve says, Dan Fitzpatrick was a huge influence on one of my first option mentors over 15 years ago. I would imagine Dan has been a huge influence on a lot of people over the years. The same with you, Steve. I know Steve's been a big influence on me. I'll tell you that. That is for sure. Okay, here we go. All right, so Frank, David, Kamal, and Quad Racer and I, we did buy Dropbox yesterday at 1990. We had this move down. We found some support. We had a spike down. Tagged the negative third ATR channel, closed above the 200-day moving average, which I was looking for. Similar to GameStop, my stop would have been a close underneath the 200-day moving average. I bought it here at 1990. I was fortunate enough this morning. Look at this. It gapped open at 2106. I had some positive slippage. I hit all three of my profit targets at the open, which was fantastic because I believe that it opened. How much higher did it open? It opened up 5.92%. And I did hit three profit targets at that amount. Now, this is not a good looking bar. I mean, it rejected, very close to rejected the 50, the high 40 RSIs. It rejected the 20-day moving average. It's up on the day still 2.5%, but the close is below the open. I am leaning towards just getting out of this, being happy that I got three profit targets up here and still up 2.5% from where I bought it. So most likely, unless this has some miracle comeback, I will just be getting out of this today and just calling it a really nice one-day trade. Domino's Pizza. All right, so let's take a look. Who is in Domino's? Gary and myself. Gary bought it back here at $391.76. I bought it here at $389.20 with this higher low V1 rejection of the 50 moving average, and this has been a great trade. Look at this. Whoop, 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 whoop. This orange line here, this is where I start to trail the stop. It obviously is above that. Today we rejected the 70 RSI. Unless this closes over the 70 RSI, I'm going to sell half of my position with the rejection of the 70 RSI. I'll sell half. If we get some follow through and it closed below the previous day's low, I'll sell the other half and be completely out of it. But this is how I change up my trading a little bit. If we do reject the 70 to the upside, I take half and then I wait for a close below the previous day's low to take the other half. But this has been a fantastic trade. Boy, I'll tell you what, this has been a fantastic trade on old Domino's, up 6.21%. And one profit target there today as well. EVRG, all right, this one hasn't worked out so well. Kamal and I did buy this false breakout to the downside, V2, under 30, over 30. Lots of confluence of signals, but just because you have a lot of confluence of signals does not mean that it's going to work out for you, right? I mean, ideally, yes, you want a lot of confluences, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I took the under 30, over 30. That was kind of my main signal. Right now it's at 29.58. If it closes under the 30 RSI today, I will go ahead and lock in a loss on EVRG. Intel, all right. Dan, Quad, Karen, Gary, David, Bob, and myself. This has been kind of a frustrating one. Very similar setup as EVRG. Higher low V2, closed over the negative third ATR channel, bought it at 49.22. It flirted with profitable levels at some point. I believe I did hit one profit target here, which is good. Today it was profitable, but now it is down 0.29%. My stop on this is a close below halfway of this washout bar. MACD is positive, so I'm glad for that, but we've had this winding up, these inside bars, inside bars, inside bars. I like that it broke to the upside today, but not so much now. It's working on becoming a bearish engulfing candle to the downside, but my initial stop is going to be a close below 48.14. SPY, all right, case we have some new viewers, I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight, I take the overnight risk. That's where I feel like the edge is in this approach. And I sell it first thing the very next morning. This is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. The back test tested two different approaches. Approach number one, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you've returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do every day, I buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, sell first thing the next morning. This approach during the same time frame, positive 634.2% return. So a big difference between buying at the open, selling at the close, and buying at the close, selling the next open. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This is true for any trading approach. It may never ever work again in the history of the world, but if I'm going to allocate money towards a trade, it's going to be towards a trade or an approach that has good back-tested numbers. The blue line is the buy in the at the close, sell the next morning. Orange line is the buy in the morning, sell the next close. Clearly, the blue line over time, all it has done is gone up. It does have significant drawdowns. You have to be aware of this. I have gone through it this year, although made about a 90% comeback. Although 2019 was fantastic for this approach. So if you're thinking about using this approach, make sure that you use a conservative position size, maybe 5%. Of your capital for the trade, 10%, or the value of the 2 ATR if you want to adjust for volatility. So I did buy SPY at 337.91 yesterday at the close, and I sold it today at 338.32. So 337.91, sold it on the gap at 338.32. Not a big one, but a winner nonetheless. All right, TCDA. I bought TCDA yesterday and had a great day. I had this, here's a fractal, two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. We had sideways motion. I bought the breakout here at 14.09. We gapped up beautifully yesterday. I hit two profit targets on my on the gap up, and then I hit one right at the very top. So I did get out of three profit targets yesterday. I don't like this now. We have a big bar up, immediate reversal bar down. The volume's lower on the downside, which is good, but I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and just lock in profits on this trade. And like I said, be happy that I did hit the 3 profit targets up here when I had them. Oh, and I hit one today. I forgot. That's what the little dotted line is. And I got almost the very, very top. So I did take off 1 profit target up there. So very likely this one's going to come off and DBX is going to come off. Lastly, this is a weekly trade on XLF, which is the financial sector. I did buy it on Friday with the close above the 200-day. I won't make my decision on this trade until next Friday because it's a weekly bar. If it closes under the 200-day, I will just have to go ahead and lock in a loss. Okay, those are the trades. Let me quickly go through day trades here. All right. I did buy Apple on the 5-minute with the nice bullish engulfing bar V1 close above the 200-day. I bought it here at 458.61. It got up here to my orange line, which is 1.5 ATRs from my entry. As soon as it triggered that, then we had a close below the previous day's low. I got out of half of the position. After I got out of the half position, I moved my stop to break even. Had a little bit of a reaction to the downside, didn't hit the break even, and then it continued up, 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 up. Here it rejected the 70 RSI. I got out of half of the half that I had left, and then I was waiting for a close below the previous day's low to get out of the full position, or the close below the previous bar. So half back there when we had a close below the previous day's low, half here when we rejected the 70 RSI, and I closed out the trade here when we fully when we had a close below the previous day's low. So got in at 458.61, got out at some at 460 even, some at 461.88, and 462.34. So that was nice. And then the Qs had a good short here on the Qs with the V1 to the downside, false breakout to the upside from here. I shorted at 277.66, immediately went down my way, had 1 bar, had a big bar down. This bar here rejected the -1 ATR channel. As soon as it triggered an intra-bar V1, I got out, luckily. So I got shorted at 277.67, and I covered at 277.33. And then I took the exact same trade here when we had a false breakout here from this high and a V1. I shorted at 277.73. The next bar went above, broke out, closed back below. I kept it, and then this bar broke out from this previous range. So I shorted at 277.73, and I covered at 277.83. So I lost 10 cents on the trade, but good thing I did because it took off. So all in all, very nice, profitable on the day trades and profitable on the swings as well. Okay. Dan says, if you lose money, don't blame it on me. Steve says, LOL, he had a great year so far with options. Evan says, STZ thoughts. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, Evan. It's a higher low V1. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write this one down. This is one of the ones I like. This probably one of the best I've seen today. Let me do some quick math. Yeah, closed below the 1 ATR channel, rallied back up into the value zone. Spike down yesterday, big reversal bar today, beautiful V1, rejection of the 200-day moving average. MACD went positive. Yes, I like this a lot. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Closing above the 50 RSI. Yeah, I like that one a lot. If I were to buy this, 2 options here. You could your stop if close below halfway of this washout bar here, or you could use the 200 as well. But I will definitely keep an eye on that one. Frank has a poem for us. Thank you, Frank. Be grateful for every trading success, because each one lessens loss, distress. Risk is always part of the mix, but gains are the rain that grow our grain. For the harvest is in the money that we retain. Let me try that one. I did not do well on that one. Be grateful for every trading success, because each one lessens loss, distress. Risk is always part of the mix, but gains are the rain that grow our grain. For the harvest is the money that we retain. Thank you, Frank. Always appreciate these wonderful poems. Sorry, I wish I did a better job of reading that. Sometimes I have when there's the letter R's and things like that, sometimes I can't process them. I don't know why, but absolutely, that makes a lot of sense for sure. And Frank gives a thumbs up and a heart to Dan Fitzpatrick. Fantastic. Okay, how are we doing on time? All right, here we go. Let's get to your trades now. Frank and Bob bought this return to value V2 on J&J 147.39, and it's been choppy, but it has moved up 0.5% today, so up a couple bucks or more on that trade so far. Fantastic. Spotify, Karen bought Spotify, false breakout to the downside, V2 253.90. Went up nicely, came back down. Yesterday had a nice day. Today tested Karen's entry, but bounced off her entry. So she bought it 253.90. It's at 257.18. So positive on the trade. Brian had a beautiful trade on Procter and Gamble at 128.30. It's at 136.54. It's up 7.77%. Fantastic. LVGO, Brian, I remember, bought this yesterday, 129.46 on LVGO, up 5.16% today. Beautiful trade, Brian. Levi, Bob bought Levi here on this higher low V2 at 12.50. 2 days of just huge upward move. Then we had the tag of the third ATR channel and the 50-day moving average, and unfortunately it's come back from there. So anyway, not sure if you're still in it, Bob. But please let me know. Caterpillar, Brian did buy Caterpillar right here when it rejected the third ATR channel at 145.19. Unfortunately, that one's been down about 5 days in a row. FCFS, Bob bought FCFS at 58.10. Beautiful, nice move up. Had a little bit of a pullback, but the last few days we've been up. So nicely positive on the trade. Netflix, Brian bought Netflix here at 509, but that was kind of the intermediate term top. Came down for 3 days, rallied, but we did have a nice kind of thrust up today, up 2.32%. Fastly, Frank did buy Fastly over here at 33.79, 520 crossover. Good back-tested approach for trading Fastly. Up. We had this volatile reversal bar here. This is where Frank got out of 90%. He's keeping 10% for a little bit of a runner, but still great trade. Oh, not Fastly. That was FAS. Sorry. Brian did buy Fastly at 79.79 with his close above the 50, down 1.17% today. Car, Frank and Jayhawk MBA did buy Carrier Global at 29.54. Right now it's 29.48, so slightly down on the trade. Facebook, Brian bought Facebook at 235 and 242.98. Very, very nice trade on those two entries, up 1.11% today. Amazon, as Dan was just mentioning, Brian had a great trade on Amazon here at 30.57. And it gapped up, came down, consolidated, but nice, big, strong day, up 3.95% today. So congratulations, Brian. Costco, Glenn bought Costco at 330. It's at 341. Beautiful, bought that breakout. RTX, Brian bought RTX up here at 64.95, but unfortunately it's just gone down ever since then. It's down 0.94% today. PayPal. Brian had a great trade on PayPal, 174.10. It is now 195.33. Fantastic. Sherwin-Williams. Brian bought Sherwin-Williams, 648.69. It's at 670.77. A little bit down today, but very nicely up on the trade. Brian, Gary, David. Fantastic. Bought Google here at 1504, up 2.43% today. Beautiful trade, Brian, Gary, and David. Very nice. Microsoft. Brian bought Microsoft here, 214.84. A little up today, but a little underwater. Stitch Fix. Oh man, this was a nice trade. This was a nice trade. David and Gary. Nice V1 rejection of the third ATR channel, rejection of the 200-day, rejection of the 250-day. Bought here at 22.56, held the 200, held the 200, held the 200, and then up, 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 up. MACD's positive. We're 59 RSI, so this is looking very, very healthy. Congratulations, guys. MCHP. Evan bought MCHP. Yes, I remember this one. I didn't buy this one yesterday. Darn it. 103.28, up 3.88%. Congratulations, Evan. Karen bought SPCE at 1877. Unfortunately, that one just hasn't worked well yet. Down 2.26% today. RBA, Glenn, with the monster trade of all monsters, bought Ritchie Brothers at 44.60. Oh, it's red today. I thought that was against the law for this stock to be red. Down a little bit, inside bar, so maybe the big run up's over, but who knows? AMD, Brian bought AMD 82.72. It's at 81.80. Down a little bit. Overstock.com, Brian bought Overstock at 97.90. Yesterday it was like 27% down today, but still nice selling trade. And last one, Brian bought Square at 140.33. It is now 150.58. So some really nice trades there, everybody. Really, really, really nice trades. October Johnny, a little late, but finally someone who talks about stocks better. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. So listen, before we get on to taking a look at possible end-of-day candidates today, I do like to switch gears and kind of get outside of indicators and stock charts, all this kind of stuff, and just talk about stock trading, psychology of stock trading, which is the most important part. Trust me, I don't care if you have some kind of really basic system. As long as you can follow it, I think you're going to do fine with it. But if you cannot follow your trade, that's the problem, right? That is the greatest challenge. So that's the skill you need to develop. So there's some really good Facebook channels out there, Twitter channels out there do a really good job of posting good information for us to read. I'm not sure how to pronounce that first name. His last name, Juma. It's over on Facebook, The New Traders, Rich Traders. Fami, maybe? But I was going through and I saw this and I was like, boy, he is really, really right. So let's see what he has to say. Trading is so underrated. It doesn't only make us money, but teaches us discipline, caution, planning, courage, risk-oriented, reward-driven. And before I get to the rest, let me concentrate on that, right? Trading teaches you discipline, yes. Caution, planning, courage, risk to reward, right? I mean, I've told this to people for years that, becoming a trader really helps you not even outside of trading, helps you analyze risk, makes you look at things more carefully. The people you're hanging out with, the people that you date, you look at everything as a trade. You kind of look at everything as a risk to reward, and it does give you courage. And so we don't hear about this a lot, but trading does help improve your life, improve your psychology in other ways as well. Now, I'm glad we have Steve and Dan in here because maybe they can tell me what this means. And most important, staying positive VE in negative VE days. For some, this might not be understood, but if you really trade, you already know what I am talking about. Happy trading and Monday, fellow followers. Now, I guess I'm not a real trader because I'm not 100% sure what this is. I think it has to do with gamma in options, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know if Steve's still there or if Frank's still there or if someone understands this, but I really can't comment on it because I do not fully understand this. But I do understand that trading teaches you discipline, caution, planning, courage, and risk management in other areas of your life. So, if you're trading every day and using these, and improving these different parts of your personality, it's going to help you with the rest of the world, right? So, anyway, thank you, Mr. Juma, for that. I appreciate that. And Kamal says positive, negative. Are we talking volatility? Or are we talking gamma? Like I know they're positive and negative, but I'm not. I think it has to do with gamma, but I'm not 100,000,000% options expert, right? Dan says, I don't know what positive VE is, but I know that it is important to be positive every single day. Not overconfident, but have a positive mindset. I couldn't agree more. I always say that, let's not get too depressed. Let's not get too manic. Let's try to stay positive. Let's try to look at the glass half full. Let's, basically try to keep our emotions balanced so that we're not too euphoric, too depressive, right? Because if we amplify those emotions that way, then we're probably not going to make great decisions or follow our plan. Steve says, that looks like an Excel command. Dan, if you have negative feelings, you'll attract negative actions and results. That makes sense. Okay, well, anyway, thank you, Mr. Juma. Appreciate that. Kamal says, it is a short form way of writing positive and negative. I learned it in chemistry with VE ions and negative VE ions. Okay, so staying positive when things are negative, right? And David says Vega. Kamal says nothing to do with options. Okay. Well, let's just leave it as staying positive when things are negative. How about that? Steve says V is positive as a plus sign is a symbol for positive number of last two characters of the word. So positive VE is used replaceable for the word. Okay. Well, in short, let's just say staying positive when things are negative. That makes a lot more sense. David says, Greek metric that allows us to see our exposure to change and implied volatility. V is the last two the letters of the words positive and negative. Oh, Dave said I found that on the web. Okay, well, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. All right, well, let's get on, take a look at new potential entries. Well, real quick, let me just take a look at current entries before I get involved in new entries. Okay, Dropbox up 2.56% today. Did get the positive slippage on the 3 profit targets right at the top here. I'm going to take this off today. It certainly didn't like the 20-day moving average. It's closing below its open. This would be a black candle bar if you are on in candle charts. So yeah, I'm going to take this one off. Just be happy with the nice 1-day trade. Domino's, great trade. It's at 69.15. Rejected the 70 RSI. Again, if it closes below the 70 RSI, I will just go ahead, get out of half. And then in the coming days, if we have a close below the previous day's low, I'll get out of the other half. So that's my plan on Domino's. EVRG, that one looks like it's closing under the 30. I'm going to have to take a loss on that. MDB, it's at 51.01. If it rejects the 50 RSI, I will take half. But if it closes over the 50, which it is 51.01 at the moment, I will keep it. So I'll have to watch that one. SPY's already programmed to buy at the end of the day. TCDA, again, hit some nice profit targets on that yesterday and one at the very top today. I don't like this big up bar followed by this big down bar. I'm going to take this one off as well. You know, let me show you real quick. I was looking at the put call ratio. And you can see that there's kind of this level down here when the put call ratio gets really, really low. When it gets down here, generally we have a little bit of a sell-off. When it gets up into this range up here, when puts are expensive, we generally have a little bit of a rally. But you know, we've come down to this level, come down to this level, come down to this level, come down to this level. So put call ratio is pretty low right now, which if you're using it as a contrarian indication, a little bit bearish, but it is up. But this was yesterday's. This was yesterday's. I would imagine it's back down again today. So this is something I like to look at when we get really low on the put call ratio here. I like to lighten up my positions a little bit or not take as many positions. Frank says, funny thing is you have to be double positive to trade short. Ah, that's true. Scott says, net has been trading in a real tight range all day here, Greg. Long from below, looking for a higher move. I think I have this on my list today to look at. Oh no, I have a net. Well, let's take a look at net. Yeah, oh, this is okay. So this looks familiar from yesterday. Somebody brought this up yesterday with this higher low V1. Yep, it was a good higher low V1 yesterday. What do? We gapped up, came back down, we filled the gap, it's holding over 55. I think that scares me. I get concerned about these big skyscraper down bars, and it looks to me like we're getting pretty close. Not quite there yet to 50% retracement, a little high. So long from below today or long from below earlier, like down here? Kamal says HMSY. Well, a lot of signals there. Rejection of the 200-day moving average, rejection of the third ATR channel, V1, under 30, over 30. Lots of signals there, although I'm not sure I like the risk to reward. Let's take a look at the weekly. Well, I like that the weekly is pulled back into the value zone and holding that 50 on the weekly in the value zone, and on the daily. Yeah, I mean, how low did this get today? 25, so that is quite a big comeback and lots of volume. That one's not too bad. Let's put it on the list. Down at the 50 day. Oh, very nice, Scott. Beautiful. About $5 in the trade. Very nice. Yep. That 50 days, a good kind of intermediate term support level right there. Buyers come in at that 50. Beautiful. Congratulations. All right, let's take a look here. Go through the candidates. Constellation. We talked about this before. Nice higher low V2, rejection of the 200-day moving average, under 50, over 50 on the RSI. MACD has crossed over. Not bad at all. So I'm going to put that one in potential. SPCE, no, that one's not doing so hot, unfortunately. SIMO, it's not bad either. We have the sideways motion here. We have V2 close back into the value zone. We're at a 40.21. Weekly is holding the 100-week moving average, so that's not too bad. So I can put that one in the possible category. WBA, no, I don't see anything there. Clorox, Bullish engulfing bar, bounce off the 50-day moving average. V1, under 50, over 50. We can take a look at that one. Roku, you know, we do have a higher low V2 here back in the value zone. I'm going to go with Steve on this one with his 520 crossover because it is a good back-tested approach that back-tests well on Roku. May have to buy it a little bit higher here, but you know, kind of range bound here, and it's well off of its highs. So I'm going to pass on that one. BIIB did have a V1 earlier, but now that one has untriggered. KO, a little bit of a higher low V1 here. I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days it tested this level. I would rather buy a breakout of a fractal to prove it could get above, so I'm going to put that one away. JO, wow. Well, we talked about this one yesterday, if you recall. With that rejection of the 200-day moving average. I looked intraday. There wasn't a lot of volume and liquidity on this stock, so I did not take it, but it's up 3.2% today. All right. VGR, it's a V1, but yesterday's bar was larger than 1 ATR, so I'm going to stay away from that one. GIB, nice return to value, 1 day sideways. 1 day sideways is all, so I'm going to pass on that one. Manta, I don't like where it is in relationship to this big down bar. We'll ride at that in that bear area, so I'm going to pass on that one. ZYXI, looks like it was an under 30, over 30. Nope, not quite. Okay, I'm going to pass on that one. ANET. We've come down. We did find support at that third ATR channel. 1, 2, 3, 4 days here. It's a 43 RSI. We have that 100 against it. I'm just going to get rid of that one then. ZS. I don't know if the 520 crossover back test well on ZS. If anybody has any time, maybe they could take a look. TDOC. Nice move here, up 5.8%, but I don't see any real entries the way that I look at entries. XLRE, sideways motion, and HMS. All right, Constellation Brands, that is pretty dang strong. Volume's decent. MACD, higher low V2. Let me take a look at the weekly on Silicon Motion. It's holding the 100, which is good. Still holding the 50, well off its highs, rejected the 20 and the 10, so I'm going to put that one back over here. And HMS, big volume there on the daily. On the weekly, I like that it's holding in the value zone. Let me take a look intraday here. Liquidity looks okay. I think the cleanest, best risk to reward ratio for me is Silicon Motion. We've had this sideways motion. We had the nice V2. It's very clean. We're back in the value zone. MACD is positive. To me, it makes the most sense. This one makes the most sense to me. The other ones are fine. I just feel like this is a little extended. Like if it came back halfway tomorrow, I would consider picking it up at a little better price, giving me a little better risk to reward ratio. And STZ, I mean, it is pretty strong. It did tag the 200-day moving average, so I'm just gonna have to go with my gut. I've looked at this all day long, and I kind of liked it. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. I don't like the intra-bar movements here. I take that back. I'm taking, if it would have looked good intraday with the liquidity, but it doesn't to me. That being said, I don't think I'm going to buy anything today. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to buy anything. I'm going to focus on what I have to get out of, things that I have to get out of, which is Dropbox. Let me go ahead and take care of that right now. I've got to get out of half of Domino's. It's been a nice trade. Okay, I'm out of Domino's with the rejection of the 70 RSI. I'll get out of the second half if we close below. EVRG, I guess I'll give it a little bit more time, see if we can close over the 30, but it doesn't look good. Intel's okay. MDB is holding, so that's holding the 50 RSI, so I will hold that. And TCDA, I'm going to get out of that as well. I don't like that big rejection bar. Okay, so that's all taken care of. Really, the only thing I need to keep my eye on here is EVRG. Lost the 30 RSI. I don't think it's going to hold it. So I am out of Dropbox. Nice one-day trade for sure. DPZ, I sold half with the rejection of the 70. EVRG, most likely on the chopping block with the loss of the 30. We have 5 minutes to go. Intel's not looking so great, but it is holding my stop. MDB, one profit target, holding the 50, so that will be a hold. And I got out of TCDA. And again, doesn't look like I'm going to buy anything today whatsoever, other than the overnight SPY trade. October says, I think at 1,000 subscribers you can get a custom URL for your YouTube. Yeah, I think you can. Hey, Glenn, good to see you, buddy. Nice trades today. You've had some really, really good ones. You're going to be closing out RBA. Is that the one that... Oh, good. Finally out of Ritchie Brothers. I don't blame you. I mean, it's kind of lost its momentum to the upside. Inside bar today, kind of an indecision bar today. I think that's an excellent place. What a trade. He bought it at 44.60. Wow, impressive, Glenn. Really, really impressive, my friend. So one more time, I did exit DBX a few minutes ago. We have this bearish bar, close below the open, thorough rejection of the 20-day moving average on higher volume. So I'm out of that. Domino's Pizza, I sold half with the rejection of the 70 RSI. EVRG, guess it's possible it could close over 50 or 30, but we'll see. Ooh, Intel taking a beating here now. Not a beating, it's down 0.5%. MDB, if it does close under 50 RSI, I will sell half if I have time enough to do all this. But my main focus right now is EVRG. See, is the S&P going to break out to new highs? Let's see. 335.62. Yes, looks like we're going to close at new highs for the S&P. Wow. All right, I'm going to have to pull the trigger, take my loss on EVRG. Okay, I'm all taken care of. EVRG is gone. Oh, I guess I better take a look at MDB, see if that closes below half, below the 50. I'm going to have to get out of half of that. So I'll keep a look at that. What are we at now? 50.79. Looks okay so far. About 30 seconds to go. I think that one's going to be okay. And again, no new entries for me today other than my SPY trade. All right, that's the bell. School is out. So listen, if you have any new entries for me today or any new exits on positions today, please let me know. I'll get them all updated on the board. Before I do that, I just want to put in my quick little daily plug and just remind everybody that I do offer private coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I have been trading for over 24 years. I've studied one-on-one with some really, really great traders and authors such as Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams, and the course that I teach is 15 hours, 5 sessions, 3 hours apiece. That's where you get the 15 hours, and I teach you everything I've learned in my 24 years of trading and everything I've learned from my mentors and teachers that I just discussed, the 4 gentlemen. So it's a really great class. It is $1,000. I think it's worth every penny. I think it's worth, honestly, a lot more than that. Like I mentioned, it is one-on-one. I think the best way to learn is one-on-one with your coach or your mentor so that you can ask questions right away. I'm very patient. You can ask me the same questions 50 times and I will answer it again and do my best to make it clear so that you can, understand what I'm teaching you. But, I basically have 5 different approaches that I use and that I've learned from from my coaches and mentors, and that's what I teach you. You know, of course, we talk about trader psychology, position sizing, you know, emergency stops, end of day stops, intermediate term stops, ultimate profit targets, phasing out, right? So it's a great course, and if you've been thinking about it, you can just send me an email. Email's in the description of this video, or you can send me a message on Twitter at Gossett Trading. If you do reach out, I'll say, hey, how's it going? And I'll say, hey, why don't we get a Skype call going? The Skype call is free. There is no sales pressure on my end. I will not ask you if you want to take the course. I just want to be able to speak to you, get to know you better, learn about your trading and your trading challenges and your trading goals. And then it's a great time for you to ask me any questions about my course. And again, it's not a sales call. I will not ask you. I'll just say, hey, it was nice meeting you. Think about it. If you're interested, you can email me back. All right. And then if you like today's podcast, I would certainly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps the channel. A lot of people out there need to learn how, would be helpful if they would learn some good trading principles. And that's what I try to teach here today, right? Essentially, you know, keeping your losses small, looking for confluence of indicators, letting your profits run. I just have a feeling that, you know, with the market being like it is, that unless a lot of traders out there, if this is their first rodeo, that if they can learn some of these things, I think it will really help them avoid a bunch of pain in the future if the market does correct. So anyway, if you could take a half a second, hit that thumbs up button, I would certainly appreciate it. Okay, so, well, let me take a look real quick, see where I bought my stuff. All right, my SPY trade was at 338.64. Oh, and that's it. That's right. That's all I bought. Been a while since I've done that, huh? All right, 338.64. That's my new overnight SPY entry. DBX I am out of. Domino's sold half today with the rejection of the 70. EVRG I am out with the close under the 30. Intel I am still in. MDB I am still in. SPY, of course, I bought that. And TCDA, I did get out of that today with that big reversal bar. So I'll put that over there. And then XLF, that's my weekly trade based upon the 200. So good day today, all in all. Those day trades helped for sure. All right, let's take a look and see. Okay, so RBA is gone for Glenn. What a trade, everybody. That is a trade of the century. Really, really beautiful trade. Frank says, I agree on DBX. Sold. Okay. All right, took Frank off there. Been impressed with GRWG. No position. Brian says, I sold OSTK. Okay. Nice, Brian. What a trade you had yesterday on that. That was massive. Bought Etsy. Oh, our friend Etsy. $134. $134.71. Brian M. Okay, good luck with that trade. Karen is out of space. Okay. Yeah, that one, darn it. That's Virgin Galactic trade. Sometimes it goes up so great that you kind of feel like that it's always going to work, but it didn't on this one, unfortunately. TDAC Karen also did. Okay, well that one was positive at least. And Roku. Gary, nice job, Greg. Fun to sit in with you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Evan M. took a position in STZ. All right. $178. 12. And that's Evan. All right. Okay, David is out of Intel. TDAC. Oh, I think I already took you off of that one. Okay. And DBX. Bob is out of Levi. David said short in MD yesterday. Oh, we got a short. Interesting. All right. Well, let's see. What is MD? Mednax. Oh. Well, that seems like a good short. 1946. I guess I better put up here. David short. I'll make this a red line so we know that it's short. Nice trade. Glenn says, and MOE. MOE. I don't have that symbol, Glenn. Quad says, hey, Greg, I'm at a DBX as well. Still hanging on to Intel. Okay. Myself as well. Frank says, what a powerhouse of traders today, Greg. Very cool. Unbelievable. I mean, Steve and Dan and Scott, I mean, wow, that's like the trifecta. I mean, I feel very honored that 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 they were all here today in this live stream. I mean, it's great. Thank you, all three of you, for coming. Scott says, thanks for the hang, Greg. You do great work, my friend. Catch you next time. Hey, thanks, Scott. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Hope you have a good day. Hope you and the family are doing well. And thanks for coming today, really. And tell Dan thank you as well. I know you're friends with Dan. That was really great. And thanks, of course, to Steve. Just great to have Steve here and his comments. And whenever we have a question to ask, Steve always has the answer. It's just great. Oh, the symbol is tree. So you bought it at 260, Glenn? I'm not sure I'm understanding. Symbol is tree, so I have tree up here. And up above you said, and maybe you meant more at 260, 280 range. Is that where you're looking to buy? Anyway, sorry, I'm not clear on that one. Okay, so Domino's Pizza. I do have Domino's. We rejected the 70 RSI today, hit one profit target. I took half. That's been a nice straight up trade, hasn't it? Intel, I am holding. It is holding my stop of 48.11. So I'm going to stick with that one. MDB, that's been a really nice trade as well. One profit target did hit the 50 RSI. If it loses the 50 RSI tomorrow, I will sell half. And then if I get a close below the previous day's low, I'll sell the other half. Oh, I see, Glenn. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I couldn't imagine that you would have bought it down there and it went up to 370 and you let it come all the way back. That makes sense. So 260, 280. So somewhere between here and here, back at the old support. Yeah, it makes sense. 267 is the 200-day on the weekly. That seems like that'd be a really good risk to reward ratio if you were patient to let it come down there. Dan, someone smash the like button, please. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so I'll take tree off there. But Glenn, if it gets down there, remind me. That does look like a really good spot for a good risk to reward ratio if it does get back down there. All right, so I think I got everybody's new positions up on the board. Why Why do I have MOFG up here? Nobody has that, do they? Unless I... Yeah, nobody has that. Wow, today's the first day I have not taken a new trade in a long time. And I'm okay with it. All right. Well, listen, if anybody has any other comments or questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Katie's not doing so great. I talked to the doctor this morning, and I've got to take her to the vet tomorrow morning. So hopefully they'll have something that will help her. But she's been struggling. She hasn't been eating, and is kind of breathing heavy. And so, you know, anyway, try to keep positive about this, and hopefully the doctor can fix her up tomorrow with something. So, all right, well, listen, please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a hello, just one nice gesture, one nice thing. It would make this world a lot better if everyone would just do one thing per day. And speaking of animals, you know, if you could do one nice deed for one animal each day, that would be great, as would be doubly as great. One for a human and one for an animal. So have a good rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be safe. And if you hit the thumbs up button, that would be great. And boy, it looks like you have hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. Johan says, thanks, Greg. Oh, enjoyed it as always. All the best to Katie. Thank you, Johan. I will tell her hello. Katie, Johan says hello. And she said, that's good. Tell him thank you. Glenn says, looking to buy GMAB. $36. Yeah, right in the value zone. Good. Frank says, 3 hearts for Katie. Thank you, Frank. Very kind of you. Two Tone says, thoughts on Walmart not changing after earnings. I haven't looked at Walmart today. Well, you know, Two Tone, in my opinion, you know, this is... Wait, are we talking earnings? Earnings were today, I think, right? You know, this is not a very bullish bar. This looks like the top of this bar got sold into. It's a V1 to the downside. It rejected the 70 RSI. It rejected the third ATR channel. It's a bearish engulfing bar. Huge amount of volume. This would be quite bearish to me. As a matter of fact, I mean, if I were thinking about anything with Walmart, said you had to trade Walmart, I would probably short that, or wait until maybe tomorrow, see the big down bar. We might rally back up into the halfway, but if it rallied halfway, then I'd look for a short. But this looks like to me a lot of shares were sold into that. Bob says, sending Katie well wishes. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Yeah, today was earnings for Walmart. Yeah, this is a bearish bar all the way around. I mean, you know, on the weekly this doesn't look good. I'm not saying it can't go up, but I think the tendency is that this got dumped into. People sold into the good earnings, and the sellers overcame the buyers. So hope that helps, Two Tone, but thank you for coming. All right, everybody, that's it. Have a good rest of your day, huh? And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone.
While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.